Welcome to Biology Made Easy. Today we are discussing snakes, their characteristics, how they are, and how to avoid them. Garden work, house living, field work. Now, we are going to look at 10 characteristics, and one of them is that they camouflage. Like many other animals, they blend with the environment to hide. Look at that toad. Well, snakes also do camouflage. Green ones, brown ones, green, yellow ones, for instance, they will be active during the day, all right? So green ones will be on green plants, brown ones, even if they are on plants, the brownish parts, like this old brownish areas. Green, yellow ones will be, well, on this kind of plants, and these ones will be active during the day. And so how to avoid them? Be careful what you touch, how you touch, and where you step, even on green grass, how you step on them, all right? Then black ones or dark ones, they will be active most of the time during dawn or dusk or night. And so be careful where you step and how you step. So that's about camouflage, blending with the environment. Now, they are cold-blooded. So cold-blooded means their bodies warm up by the environment. Temperatures in the environment warm them up. So it means that when the environment is cold, these animals are usually cold, and so they hide during cold times. And then as the environment warms up, they warm up. So they have active times. There are times when they are active. Some are active during the day, that is diurnal. Some are active during the night, nocturnal. Some are crepuscular. They are active at dawn and dusk. And then they molt. Molt means they shed their skin or molt 2 to 4 times a year, and some it takes 9 to 14 days during molting or shedding their skin. Then another characteristic is that they hibernate or estivate. We discussed these two terms. So during very cold snow time, they will stay put, be dormant. Very cold seasons that they hibernate. Very, very dry and hot seasons, they estivate. These two processes, it means the organisms remain dormant so that their bodies use very little energy. So they conserve energy, enough energy just to be alive. Their metabolism goes very low during hibernation and estivation. Then another characteristic about them is that many of them take time to digest their food because their food is flesh. Pythons, for instance, can take weeks or months to digest food because they take in very large animals that they strangle and eat them. So they take time. Snakes usually take time to digest food. Well, what does all this mean? The fact that they are cold-blooded, they have active times, they molt, they hibernate, they take time to digest food. Some are diurnal during the day, so in the night they go to hide. Some are nocturnal, so during the day they are hiding or resting somewhere. Some are crepuscular, they are dawn or night active. What all these mean, they sleep, they rest, and they hide to trap prey. So where do they sleep, rest, hide? They do that hiding and staying in tunnels, in holes in the ground, holes in locks or holes under locks, holes in drains or around drains, holes in cracks of rocks, spaces in piles of wood. So these animals, they stay in places because they are not active all the time, because they do all these characteristics. And the holes in the ground that they hide in, they can't dig the holes themselves. So holes that other animals have dug, they send them out or they eat them and they take possession of the holes. Tunnels that nothing passes through or areas that they can hide, and drains around the house, and How do you know that snakes are in a hole? Any hole in the ground around the house should be checked. You can see these holes have snakes in them because you can see the path that the snake passes. These holes too, you can see there's activity around the holes. Why come that all the grass around the holes are flattened? Then that hole too, you can see the snake coming out. You see the path, that place the grass is flattened. The holes that they live in is not only one hole coming out, a number of holes because goes in, comes out. The holes that animals got, right? Also, how do you see whether they are in drains that are in the house? Areas around the drains. Look for their feces. Their feces are dark brown with this whitish at part of it, and the whitish is uric acid. And lizards also those kind of feces, but the snakes will be bigger. So all holes must be blocked, and hole blocks are there that could be bought and used. And then the houses should be fumigated. That's how to avoid them. Cracks should be looked for. Look around to see whether their feces are around. But watch out. You may see that holes are there. You say the holes are not active. There are no snakes in them. And that may be false because this hole, for instance, it has so much piles of sand around, so it doesn't look like there's any activity there. But what if the snake is molten and has gone to lie in and rest for a while, and so ants built up sand around? Or what if it's hibernating or estivating? Or what if it's taking time to digest food? So every hole, every gap should be dealt with, blocked. Well, another characteristics about snakes is that they lay eggs. The eggs are shelled eggs, and that is cladoic, shelled eggs. And the eggs are leathery. It's not as hard as that of chicken, it's leathery. And the eggs are laid in warm, dark, damp places. And all they do, is to conceal them. And also, a lot of eggs usually laid because it's not only one female, other females of the same species will lay the eggs. And so you have a brood number and concealed. Once the place is warm and damp and dark, is suitable. And so once in a residence or around our residence, and we suspect there are dark areas in the corridors, that places could be warm but dark, places should be checked. And then black soil. In my country, we collect heap of black soil to put into our gardens, and some of them have snakes' eggs in them. So you put it in the garden, and then snakes come into the house because the soil had eggs of snakes in them. So one should be watchful. Soil that is transported in areas, very dark, good soil, spread it out before it's put into the house. And then these animals are carnivorous. They are obligate carnivores. It means they eat flesh. They eat live things. And so that determines where they live, where they can get food. And so how to avoid them? Watch areas that have ponds or water bodies standing, very marshy places that have a lot of toads, frogs, and other animals lurking about. Snakes will not be far away from there. So watch. Then they are sensitive to vibrations on the ground. So if you are walking in a pathway, there's bush on both sides. This is the pathway. You are walking, because they are sensitive to vibrations on the ground, you don't want to see a snake. Thumb your foot on the pathway as you go, and they'll hear and move from the path long before you get there, even to see them. Then snakes die quickly with strong heat or fire. Cobra has been in our courtyard before to get some fowls and got into an area where you could see it's a little bit trapped. When you get a situation like that, just get a very long stick or a metal and put paper at the tip, light it, protect your eye with glasses or goggles, because the snake cobras, they can spit long distance onto your eye. So protect the eye first, then you have this long stick or long metal, a lot of paper tied on it, and light it and put it at the direction, the area where the animal is. It dies very, very, very quickly. I have seen it with my own eyes. And then let's ask a question. Can snakes live in termitarium or anthills? So I have this termitarium here. You see this termitarium is active. It's active means that there are termites still in it. You see fresh soil being put on the termitarium by the workers. You see that the holes that leads to the tunnels, there are tunnels in the termitarium, huge tunnels. Some of it, the queen termite lives in it. And so, snakes live in tunnels also. So can a snake live in this termitarium which is active? The answer is no, because the holes to the tunnels, once the termitarium is active, they are so tiny. You see very tiny holes. And then, even if a tiny snake goes into an active termitarium, the soldier termites will deal with it, will frustrate it, will try to fight it. So, when the termitarium is active, it will be difficult for a snake to live in there. But when the termitarium is abandoned and the queen is dead, the workers are not there, you see this one is abandoned. It's an old termitarium. It has huge holes in it. And once the tunnels inside, the top has not been completely removed and there are tunnels inside, snakes can live in it. In an active one, a snake can move around, eating the worker termites around, but very difficult to stay in. Well, we are told by scientists who work around or work with snakes a lot, say that many snakes are not dangerous, meaning they are not poisonous. But what I suggest is that a snake, even when it's not dangerous, if it's stepped on, can be dangerous. So let us look well, touch well, step well to avoid them once we know their characteristics. Well, if this lesson has been useful, please give us your thumbs and do subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much. Goodbye.